Hello there, everybody, and welcome. And Twitch has gone on some people's nerves. Hey, just come on my Twitch and follow. That's all I gotta
The
say.
title's not clickbait. There was a new policy on Twitch that was announced today that
Yeah,
will
see that.
legitimately destroy the platform, with the majority of streamers choosing to go elsewhere if it goes into effect. Now, this was announced like 3 or 4 hours ago, but I decided to wait a little bit to see what Twitch would respond with because the backlash has been considerable.
Yeah,
Everyone is rightfully furious about this, and I just kind of wanted to let it all simmer, let Twitch kind of marinate in this witch's cauldron here and see how they would respond to all of it. So I went and played basketball, which is why I'm very sweaty right now, and I've just got home, and it turns out they did respond. I expected them to respond with something like, "Our sincerest apologies. Earlier this afternoon, we were
hold on. Was it this one first then? Hold on. I think I
I
got
was
the
in
order wrong. Is desperate dead? Yeah, okay then. I got the order right then.
yesterday
There we go.
coming down with a severe
My bad.
case of big fucking idiot disease. Turns out one of our employees replaced our water with plutonium and stupid juice. So we had radioactive brain rot when we came up with this idea. We're scrapping it. We're sorry. That's what I expected. But they went in a different direction. They went with a very pathetic attempt to save face and backpedal. So we're just going to go over this whole situation from top to bottom here. It was revealed today that Twitch has put sponsored content and branded content in their crosshairs to try and fucking slap.
I didn't
So,
know that.
formats permitted with the new guidelines on branded content on Twitch are logos on stream. So, branded overlays are limited to 3% of screen size at
I think I
most.
seen that.
So, any branded overlays can only be 3% of screen size. That means, like, if you have a G Fuel sponsorship or something, you can only have, like, G Fuel in the 3% of your screen area. You can no longer have burned in video ads, meaning you can't play like your own ads during it or ads of another brand that's working with you. You also can't have display ads, so like banner ads, which is a big one because a lot of sponsored game streams require banner ads, which completely removes that, which is a huge hit to most streamers. We'll get into the specifics in a moment. And then you can't have audio ads played during streams. Now they clarify what is allowed, which is branded panels on the channel page or showcasing products in the stream background or links to other sites that promote things, discussing, endorsing, or unboxing products, and playing sponsored games. The last one's a little silly considering that when you play sponsored games, part of that package almost always includes at least one of the things that is now forbidden with the new policy changes they're toying around with. Now, all of these are huge changes. A lot of streamers have talked about this. I've talked about this. The vast majority of revenue a streamer generates is through sponsorships, whether it's sponsored game deals for like X amount of hours streaming a game, or just ancillary partnerships with other brands that you will promote during your stream. That's where the majority of streamers' revenue comes from. Like almost all of the top 500 streamers, that is their biggest driver of revenue. Subs and
I could see that.
donations are a small part compared to sponsorships. So Twitch targeting that is like the only decision they could make that legitimately would drive all of their top 500 streamers elsewhere if they can no longer pursue partnerships comfortably on the platform. This is a platform destroying moment. This is up there with Tumblr banning porn or that day
Really?
that OnlyFans decided they were going to ban porn. It is a completely, it's Armageddon for the platform. This would sink Twitch without exaggeration. Let's talk about some more specific examples. Tournaments, video game tournaments, or even just any general events could no longer function on Twitch because for those tournaments to exist, they have sponsors. And as part of those sponsorship packages, the events, like a Smash event or a Valorant event, are obligated to play those sponsored ads during the event, which has now entered Santa Claus's naughty list here on Twitch. It's illegal. You're going to the fucking slammer, you're going to jail if you play a sponsored ad during your stream from these policy changes. So let's take, for example, Valorant. Valorant has an eBay deal. So during intermission in between games and Valorant broadcasts, they play eBay ads. Not anymore. Not anymore, Buster. You can't do that shit yet, you outlaw. Listen here, Bubba.
You said
No
you
more of that
outlaw.
shit. Now, there's something very interesting to note here is that YouTube actually has a similar policy that a lot of people are bringing up to compare the two right now. But Twitch's enforcement and the way that they spoke about it seems very different than the enforcement of YouTube. And from everything I've read, YouTube doesn't really enforce this policy even at all to begin with. It's just kind of there as a blanket in case things get exploited or misused. But either way, there is something comparable on YouTube, but not nearly as egregious or as frightening as what Twitch is proposing. Now, when this policy change first got announced, we immediately tried reaching out to as many people as possible for some clarity because the way that it reads seems like it's going to have a massively detrimental impact on our esports org, Moist Esports, thanks to the way we do our watch parties. And from all the information we've gathered, it seems like we're in some fucking hot water there, which is not good. Opera GX sponsors our esports team, and as part of that sponsorship deal, during our watch parties when we're cheering on our teams, we play our own custom Opera GX ads that we made ourselves with green screen, like where I'm a pirate or a fisherman, those kind of really goofy over the top ads, we play those. But now that whole concept is more forbidden than human transmutation in Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. We can't do that anymore, which is a huge hit to our esports org, since Opera GX pays us under the expectation that we're also going to be doing those ads during our watch parties, which we can't do anymore. We also have a banner ad for Opera GX during the watch parties, which we can't use anymore. So the main two things Opera GX is sponsoring our esports org for has been banished to the fucking Shadow Realm. So what are they paying us for if we're to continue doing watch parties on Twitch? And it's entirely out of our control. It's not like we're choosing not to fulfill our obligations with Opera GX. Twitch just wouldn't allow us to, or else my channel would get banned on Twitch for doing so, I imagine. Now, Opera GX has been an extraordinary partner. I don't think they'd actually drop us for it, but they would have every reason to, because they wouldn't be able to get what they were paying for with our esports org and our watch parties anymore, because Twitch isn't allowing it in its current state, at least not as it stands from their first pass of this policy. It's just so fucked up. Now, it's not just, our esports org or, top streamers or anything like that. It's any streamer that would pursue sponsorships, which is a lot of them. Big and small streamers, all of them alike, do rely on sponsorships. And this hits everybody equally. It fucks everyone in the face all the same.
I don't got
It
sponsorships
is an
yet,
extremely greedy and corrupt, degenerate decision from Twitch. It is fucking disgusting.
Instead of
It's
making
definitely
that
worth
platform
mentioning
better,
that I have seen some arguments
making it
being
worse.
made where Twitch might follow YouTube's example here and won't enforce it strictly. Like they might just reserve this policy.
Nah, for that, I feel like they'll pick when and when not to enforce it, which would make it worse. Cause like they already pick when and when to and when to not enforce like certain like rules of theirs already. Like with the female streamer who got caught having X, I'm gonna say X, whatever, X on like live like streaming, like caught for like 4K, I don't know, 180, 1080p, I don't know, but she got caught, like 3-day ban, and then Gideon, well, what Gideon did was stupid, but also he made up and he's still permaban. I'm just using that as an example. Like the way they pick, I feel like it might be something like that where they're like
for bad actors only.
Pick
and I guess
using
that is
favorites,
entirely
picking
possible,
favorites.
but there's just no way of knowing. We just have to wait and see how it all plays out. But there's very clear ways this could be implemented that hurts every single person who uses the platform. And personally, I feel the reason why they're even making this policy
Rumble
update
and
in the
Kick.
first place isn't necessarily to follow suit with YouTube or something as like a, a fallback protocol in case there's
Rumble
bad
and Kick.
actors misusing branded content somewhere. I feel the reason they're doing it is to try and push all their streamers to do everything through Twitch. Do all of their sponsorships through their sponsorship programs. That way they can get a cut of everything. That's how I interpret all this. That's how I feel the motivation behind it is misguided, it's mismanaged, it's completely lost, it's geriatric, it's run by octogenarians, it's out of touch, and it is desperate. It is desperately trying to get its grubby little fingers, just plant these little piggies in each pie that happens on their platform. And that comes right out of the streamer's income. We've already seen them do that with the sub revenue where they're dropping everyone to 50-50 sub revenue forever, non-negotiable. And now they're doing it for sponsorships because on Twitch, all streamers, a lot of them are doing sponsorships. And when they do, Twitch sees nothing from it. They don't get any portion of sponsorships done by streamers on their platform, and that makes them furious. They got steam coming out of their ears. So this is their attempt to try and force streamers.
Bro, I'm sad because I was just checking. This is like something else. I was just checking and I lost the Eren skin. I didn't get it. I didn't know the season was going to update today. I would have played it more, bro. That sucks. Really lost my shit. I'm upset, actually. Very upset. got the key, got the Wayfinder sticker. Man, that's annoying. I thought I had one more day after today or after yesterday, so I was still gonna be good for today. That's ass.
To comply with Twitch's ad incentive program or their branded content program, such as like the Twitch Bounty Board. The Twitch Bounty Board works kind of like a sponsorship where companies have approached Twitch to do like sponsored game deals, and streamers can go into their bounty board, click and see what's there, and then choose to take a deal where they're getting paid X amount of dollars for X amount of hours. And if they do that, Twitch gets a large portion of that
I
income.
didn't.
To me, it just
I
seems
don't
like
got
the
that. I don't
direction
think
Twitch
I
is
got
going is
I don't
do
think I
everything
got that.
through us or else. It's only been 2 months since they made this announcement where they're testing new experiences to connect streamers and brands through their sponsored streaming network that they're creating. So it just seems like since Twitch offers this program, it seems like this policy change was supposed to scare streamers away from partnering with brands outside of Twitch's ecosystem here, because Twitch doesn't make any money if you get a brand deal outside of this program, whereas if you use Twitch here for their sponsored streams, Twitch makes money from it. Twitch is really trying to monopolize streamers' income, and this is something Mr. Beast just mentioned on Twitter as well.
Yeah.
Twitch just wants to make sure that if any money is generated on their platform, they get a piece of that pie. They want that cake. They're gluttonous, and they're willing to sink as low as humanly possible to get it. It's sickening. This doesn't just affect individual streamers. Like I mentioned, it affects anyone that wants to do events on their platform as well. So let's do another example. Smash tournaments. Smash tournaments rely entirely on sponsorship revenue, like a Papa John's ad or something like that. All of it. All of their money comes from sponsorships, which means banner ads, large screen built-in ads during broadcasts, and even just full commercials during their broadcasts during intermissions. All of those things are no longer allowed if this policy goes through as written. That ruins every single gaming event that happens on Twitch right now, and generally just every single event ever. So like a music festival. Music festival is another great example. Music festivals rely heavily on sponsors too. If you watch a music festival that sometimes get broadcast on Twitch, you'll notice they have their own built-in ads as well that they'll play sometimes, depending on which one you're watching. That's no longer allowed either. So should this policy be pushed through the gates of fucking Mordor here and make it to the platform, every single event organizer is going to leave Twitch because they legitimately will not be able to run on Twitch anymore if they can't play ads from their sponsors. And sponsors aren't going to give money to people or events if they can't have their brand be showcased, like with a banner ad or a normal commercial. If they can't get anything out of it, why the fuck would any of these brands sponsor anything on the platform? It's not going to happen. So all of the event organizers are probably going to go to places like Kick or YouTube, and I imagine most of the streamers will be going to other platforms as well, at least part-time. They won't fully invest in Twitch anymore because it's not safe or reliable to do so. Again, Twitch themselves.
You can't even do that now because they were talking about if you stream on other platforms, then your account will get banned. So you can't even do that.
Have said, like, most streamers are getting most of their money through sponsorships, and now Twitch is hitting sponsorships. Like, they're reducing their ability to make money through sponsorships, like directly impacting them, even after recognizing how important that is to the ecosystem. So most streamers, there will be a mass exodus, I imagine. A lot of streamers have already said that they're going to do that on Twitter in response to this. So streamers are going to go to other platforms so that way they can continue to have these sponsorship opportunities. Like, Twitch is really on the deathbed here. This policy change is the end of the platform if it goes through. Now, I've said this, I've been very open about it. When my Twitch contract ends, and I am doing my best to try and end it early, when it ends, I will be going to other platforms to stream, just to test them all out. I'll still be streaming on Twitch occasionally, but we can't even do our watch parties there anymore, which is a big thing that I love to do. So I would like to try streaming on YouTube, for example, which is why I turned on memberships on YouTube here, just in case. So it's one of those things where this is something that will destroy the platform. And Twitch must have recognized that because they did put out a follow-up statement about an hour ago here. And I think it's trash. I think it is a terrible response. Today's branded content policy update was overly broad. This created confusion and frustration, and we apologize for that. We do not intend to limit streamers' ability to enter into direct relationships with sponsors, and we understand that this is an important part of how streamers earn revenue. We wanted to clarify our existing ads policy that was intended to prohibit third-party and networks from selling burned-in video and display ads on Twitch, which is consistent with other services. We missed the mark with the policy language and will rewrite the guidelines to be clearer. Thank you for sharing your concerns, and we appreciate the feedback. We'll notify the community once we've updated the language. What a load of horseradish. This is some sour fucking mustard here. Basically just saying, we're sorry you misunderstood us. Yeah, we must have used too many big words for your simpleton minds, and it led to too much confusion, so we're sorry for that. We'll make sure to dumb it down into layman's terms going forward. Well, that's just not the case. It's not like you put out a broad statement that had a lot of misinterpretation or misconstruing of the information. You laid out pictures. Like, you literally made it as simple and specific as possible, down to exact percentages of how much it could take up on screen. 3%. That's not broad. Like, you specifically laid it all out with fucking pictures. Like, I don't know why they're trying to play this angle that it was just too broad and confusing and people misunderstood it. You made it clear what your intention was. I don't think there was any misunderstanding here. This is just a really sad attempt to try and save face, like, oh, no, we didn't mean what you guys are saying. No, we meant something totally different. Brother, you laid out a picture book of the new policy changes. Like, it doesn't get more clear than that. Now, again, this is just very obvious backpedaling here, but at least just own it. Just be like, hey, guys, look, we fucked up. We're lost. We don't know what we're doing at Twitch, guys. Look, everything's on fire over here. Employees are getting let go left and right. Our CEO's 96 years old. He's a fucking fossil. Like, we just don't know what's going on. You know, we can't steer the ship correctly, so we fucked up with this idea. We're just desperately trying to get a couple more doubloons out of the platform and don't know how. Like, at least that would have been honest. As opposed to going down this path where it's like, sorry, it was confusing and you guys didn't understand us. And then the ultimate cherry on top of the shit cake is they still, in their response, don't explain what they're doing. They're still not explaining what the new policy is doing. They're just saying, okay, we'll rewrite it.
I lost my debit card. What do I do?
No need to panic over a lost debit card. With B.
You know what feature of Kick I really fucking like?
Okay, but
that they're bringing, that they said they're going to bring, but I don't know when they're going to bring or how it's going to work out. It's their policy where, like, if you stream certain numbers of hours, you get paid for that, right? So on their website, for like, this is for like low end streamers, right? Basically, like me currently right now, right? Because I don't got that many people watching. Huh? Okay then. Because I don't got that many people watching and shit like that. And I'm not getting that much ad revenue. There needs to be a reason for others to stream, right? Instead of just trying to grow. So then you could also get money on the side. And people were saying, well, they were saying that they might bring a policy. So like for hours you streamed, you could get money off of that. If it's like 50 cents, $1, $5, I don't know, however much it's going to be. But yeah, they were talking about it. And I'm like, that's a good policy. But the only thing is I would need to start over, like completely start over, which is going to be tough because I'm pretty sure they're going to have the same requirements and whatnot. But yeah. Also, they were like, there was this whole drama of like, if you switch or if you stream at other streaming sites, your Twitch account will be banned, and you'll have a $25 fee. And Kick was like, we'll pay that $25 fee off. See, bro, honestly, all it takes is YouTube actually caring about the live subscription, and people are moving.
So what did we get wrong? What did we misunderstand then? The only thing they add even a little bit of clarity to is that it's supposed to target third-party ad networks. Like, I suppose there's some companies that have programs that will pump branded content onto some streams, and it kind of competes with Twitch's own built-in display ads. It's something I've never heard of and had to do some serious digging to find because it's not exactly a prevalent issue on the platform from everything I'm reading, but there are a couple of companies that will pump their own ads onto streamers' streams, like burn in ads onto their streams. And when those pop up during a stream, that makes money for that third-party company, not Twitch. And sometimes the streamer gets a kickback from that as well, but it's not like a true sponsorship partnership deal. It's like a ad network having their own, basically having their own display ads on Twitch without it being Twitch display ads, if that makes any sense. It's very niche. Like, if that truly was what they were trying to target, this is a very overblown response and exaggerated reaction to it. They went nuclear on it with this whole song and dance they've made out of it. It's very clear Twitch wants to facilitate every sponsorship deal through their platform so they get a cut of it. They've announced like the ad incentive program, as well as they even have their own new branded content program to get sponsorships through them. And
I know about
they get a portion of all of that. So they want to make sure that streamers are kind of coerced into using those programs so that way Twitch can get more money out of them, as opposed to having their own agents, their own managers, or their own connections to these brands to work directly with them, where Twitch doesn't see any money from those sponsorships. It's very clear why they want to do this. It's just a fucked up thing to do. And it ruins the whole platform by trying to implement this policy because no one's going to stay there. There's competition. Twitch isn't the only platform for streaming. You can go elsewhere, and many streamers will and are actively. Even with a full walk back here and they like completely just eat shit publicly and say like, look, we're not going down this path anymore. Everything's going to stay the same. You can still do sponsorships, no problem. Even if they do that, the trust is gone. Most streamers are still going to look elsewhere because Twitch has shown their hand. They've shown their whole ass here. Twitch is more than comfortable not only taking money away from streamers' sub revenue, but just taking money away from streamers in general across the board, even on things they have no part in, which is sponsorships. Like, if a creator gets their own sponsorship, they should have full reign, full rights to do whatever they want with it when streaming. Twitch shouldn't be getting a cut of sponsorship deals that you yourself are getting, or your manager or team or whatever is getting. That is outrageous. That is such a fucking overreach, and it's disgusting. The greed has single-handedly destroyed Twitch. I don't know how it bounces back. Like, the reputation is beyond ruined. And like I mentioned, even if a full walk back on everything here takes place, I still see a ton of streamers streaming elsewhere. Maybe not full-time, but they'll dip their toes into plenty of other platforms just to try them out because it's not safe to commit fully to being on Twitch. There's no reason to be exclusive on Twitch anymore. That's just not something most people will want to do going forward, I bet.
Sure.
So yeah, I just want to talk about this a little bit. That's it. So, yep.
The best decision I could ever make.
I kind of just wanted to feel like myself.
Damn. Okay then. Charlie, please don't bash what? Plutonium mixed with stupid juice. Just shit slaps. That shit slaps. Damn, rest in peace, Twitch. I don't know them personally, but I hope their family can get past this. Bro, that's crazy. But yeah, like, subscribe, see you guys later. I hope you have a good day or night. And bye. And let me know your opinion on this. But hey, yeah.